And welcome back to Let's Play Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga 2 for the second to last time. Today, we've got bonus bosses to get to. This is the last set of challenges for us in the game, and as you can see, I've spent quite a bit of time preparing. In addition to the level grinding I got to get up to a suitable level for this, I decided around 80 should do, and as you can see, I went a little over, which is to be expected. I've also spent my remaining money on gold boxes, so I got some datas to pump up our characters. I'll be using Cielo, Seraph, and Heat. Now, honestly, Gale would probably be a little more effective than Heat for what I have planned for the third slot, but, well, Heat was just closer to what I needed for this, so he just won out for simple convenience. Now, Cielo over here, he's pretty much set up for pure support. He's got the Synchro Ring, as you'd expect. Life Surge to pump up his HP. As you can see, I invested a lot in his vitality and gave him a bunch of HP data, so he's doing pretty good there. Salvation is the big thing there. We definitely want him to have that so he can purge ailments from our other party members, since he's the only one who has null ailment, and I just don't consider it worthwhile to grind that up on everyone else. Otherwise, I got Terukaja for charge combos, Debilitate, when he has the free time for it. Zeodyne's just a filler skill. Death Resist is in case any of these bonus bosses use Mudo-type skills, which I forget if they do or not. That's just some insurance right there. Dekunda's on there. That's basically another filler skill. Anytime I use that, I'd probably just offset with charge anyway. Seraph is set up with Niflheim and Ice Boost and Ice Amp to maximize the damage of that. Also got Power Charge and Ragnarok for flavor. Mind Charge, obviously, to combo with for charge and power up Niflheim. Because it is a mega damage ice type skill, it is the most damaging ice skill. No particular reason to use ice, although it does have a particular use in the upcoming bonus boss we're about to fight. And I did grind up to get Medea Rahan, so that we have access to more healing in the event that I want Cielo to set up a charge or a debilitate. You notice that Life Surge is on everybody. I made sure to grind everybody up to that, so we'd have a good buffer of HP. Over 800 should be good on everyone. Heat. For these coming battles, he'll be set up to cast magic. I've got Vavavia, since that will pair well with the gimmicks we've got for these upcoming bosses. Mind Charge on him, of course. I've also got him Debilitate, and he's honestly probably going to be casting it more often than Cielo would. As you can see, I've got Ragnarok on there, but no Power Charge. It's essentially a filler skill at this point. And, of course, Ice Resist to cover his weakness. Skull Ring is on him just for insurance. You may have also noticed that I have Dual Ring on Seraph. That's only going to be used in this first fight. Because both Seraph and Heat are equally capable for fighting, I want them both to be able to act in equal amount in fights. So, just for this first one, we want the Dual Ring on Seraph. Now, we want to take the Eastern flower here first. First off, while this fight is a little bit more complicated than the other one on the other side of the room, it is also generally a lot easier. The boss is a lot less threatening, and it has a way better reward, so we want to take this one first. Now, a tremendous power emanates from beyond the door. If we don't have Pinaka, we cannot enter this flower, but we do have Pinaka, so we can actually just bypass it and go on in. Who awaits us behind it? Why, that's Shiva! Don't have to fuse Rangda and Barong to get access to them for once. Well, we've already defeated Brahmin, but, you know, we've snapped back a little bit, so we're fighting Shiva now. Alright, let's get to it. Now, Shiva and the boss in the room across, they both have a elemental weakness changes gimmicks, or rather, their resistances change up. Shiva's got a very straightforward one, but it's not something you'd know offhand. Every turn, Shiva gets a new set of resistances. Right now, Shiva is vulnerable to ice and fire, or I should say fire and ice, because the next turn will be Ice Elec, the third turn, Elec and Force, the fourth turn, Force and Earth, fifth turn, Earth only, and then the sixth turn, everything will work. There is no way of knowing that without extensive trial and error, so fortunately I know that offhand, so you don't have to worry about us dealing with that. Now that is the reason that I have Niflheim on Seraph, because these first two turns I can just dump out Niflheim right away, deal some good damage in right off the bat. So yeah, let's hit him. And yeah, pretty good damage there. And it looks like I was correct to bring the Skull Ring. Fortunately I lucked out there and that missed Seraph. But yeah, we're going to set up some more charges. I believe all the bosses have access to Deikuja and Dekunda, though they do not use them consistently. so I'm not overly concerned about that. We'll throw out another Niflheim here. I've also got my notebook here to check off the turn progression, so I can keep track of things. I don't have to just go over it mentally. Alright, now, this coming turn, also as you can see, Shiva is quite convinced that the end is nigh. Okay, now I'm actually, I'm gonna pass here. I don't want to set up another charge just in case that all gets purged. We're going to pass back to Heat here, get him to mind charge up so he can do a Vavavia, and then we're going to debilitate Shiva this time. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, hey, there goes the Dede Kunda. I know what you're thinking. Now, why don't I just use almighty attacks? Well, the game has considered that, and if you decide to try and go with almighty attacks in this fight, the bosses will counter with their most powerful almighty skills. Now, for Shiva, that's actually not much of a threat as it sounds like. Also, I gotta make 2 more checks. There we go. Oh, that actually did pretty good damage. For Shiva, that's not as big of a threat because their ultimate skill is not as threatening, but for the other boss, it's actually pretty scary. Yep, here comes the Vanity, and this is where Salvation might get some use. Nope, there just comes the Deikaja. Now this turn right here, this is a free turn, so we can't actually do anything. What we're going to do here is we're going to... Yep, Mind Charge is already in effect. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. And pass again. Well, actually, you know what? Just for fun, let's show what happens if we use an almighty skill here. And yeah, we should be able to win next turn. With an almighty skill used, Shiva will counter with Third Eye, a powerful almighty spell with a guaranteed chance of stunning. It's not terribly threatening though, because Cielo can cover it with Salvation. Also, Shiva's about to die here. This is the 6th turn, so we can just hit him with anything. We're just going to use our mind charged up magic. Here comes Niflheim. Oh, I must have lost track of my turns here. Well, there goes Seraph. That is okay, though. Let's just, That's weird. Let's just see if Vavavia works. Okay, it did. That was weird. I must have lost track of the turns there. Oh, well. We still won. There's Maiden maxed out. I wanted Maiden on Cielo. For a very particular reason. One skill that it teaches, no critical. As a matter of fact, I might slot that in on everybody going into the next fight, just because it's a bit more important. But yeah, that fight actually went a lot more smoothly than I was expecting. Hey, Wild Bomb, I don't need that. I also sold off a lot of my junk there, off screen. Alright, well that was actually very smooth. I probably could have won that a lot sooner. Some solar data dispersed. And a tremendous power can be felt. Pinaka inherited Shiva's power. What does that mean? Well, on its own, nothing. But it will become important later. Now, the reason you want to take out Shiva is Shiva gives you the best ring in the game, Turn Ring. This is pretty much the Omega ring of the game. What does this ring do? Why? It gives you an extra press turn. Heck yeah. Obviously, it doesn't work like Dual Ring and let character go twice in a row. It's is straight up, we just have 4 turns to work with now. Very, very nice. And this is the point where I'm just going to switch that over for Dual Ring. Now Heat and Seraph will be able to contribute equally. So first off, let's just save here. This, as you can see, for defeating Shiva, we get a new mantra that I'm not going to learn because the skills it teaches are useless, it's really expensive, and it takes forever. But let's just look at it anyway. I should be able to access it on a couple characters. There's Maiden. And here comes the mantra. Okay, Cielo can't access it, but Seraph can, so let's just pass over to them. The secret mantra we get for defeating Shiva teaches us Third Eye and Fizz Absorb. Pretty sweet, although Fizz Absorb is pretty useless at this point because the threats we're going to be dealing with are almighty in nature. Third Eye, not that great. Anything we'd be using it on is immune to stun, so yeah, kind of useless. Now, Third Eye can actually contribute to a pretty powerful combo skill, but that is also pretty useless. overall, just kind of a downer of a reward. And I completely forgot to do the safety save like I was intending to do, so let's get back into that menu. Now that I have everybody running null critical, I'm actually going to set that on everyone. It's pretty important for these next two fights that we're going to be getting into that we minimize the chance that we get critted, because that can tremendously increase the odds that we lose. So yeah, let's get set up for that. First order of business, let's set our new null critical skill. Should be towards the bottom here. Where is it? There it is. Let's see, we do not need Zeodyne. Yeah, Cielo's not going to be doing any attacking. And what can I get rid of on Seraph? Yeah, always got to make some tough cuts. Honestly, I'm not going to be having them do any power charging. And for heat... yeah, I'm going to be setting them up for physical attacks for the next fight we get into, but right now we're just going to stick to Vavavia. I don't think the next boss is vulnerable to physical attacks at any point, and we definitely don't want to be using Ragnarok on him. This is the more important fight where you don't cheat. If you cheat, it tremendously increases the chance that you'll lose. Now, beyond here, we need Nandaki to get through. Just a thing, hey, it's Vishnu! Just a thing for Nandaki, what I did to get it is I got my levels up really high. I was at level 79, but I believe it should work anywhere between level 77 and 79. And I just threw out an Astoma spray in this room, and that pruned down the encounters to just Parvati, Narasimha, Arahabaki, Kingu, and Samael. So that makes it a lot easier to run into Narasimha specifically. Still took a lot of encounters to get it, but went way faster than when I was just leaving the encounters on. Anyways. Oh, absolutely. You will be in awe of my Dharma. Now, Vishnu also has a, resistance changing gimmick, but it's a lot different than Shiva's. Instead of progressing by turn, his resistances change in response to what you hit him with. So if you hit him with an ice type skill, he'll become resistant to ice skills. If you hit him with a force type skill, he'll become resistant to force skills. However, the resistance sets that he gets from those do not preclude the other. So I can hit him with an ice skill and then a force skill, and then just alternate between those two, and we should be fine. So let's start up by getting charges. As you can see, we have our fancy new fourth turn there. And this first turn, we're just going to start setting up. Now, it is imperative that you do not try to hit Vishnu with almighty attacks, because he does not react well to that at all. It is a terrible idea. Don't do it. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see why that's a terrible idea soon enough. As you can see, there's a nasty physical attack there, and as you can see, null critical already failing for me. This is a good opportunity to have Cielo debilitate this guy. Get that buff off of him. Now let's hit him with Niflheim and then Vavavia, and then we're just going to alternate between that. And this is going to be a pretty straightforward fight. Just mind charging up, then alternating these spells. It'll deal really nice damage there, as you can see. I did consider having the Amala ring on heat just to bring his damage up a little bit more and, you know, make it more survivable. But I'd rather have the insurance afforded by the... what is it? The Skull Ring. Alright. We're actually in pretty good standing here. I don't want to set up another charge in case that just gets taken away on me. So we'll just start passing around, and yeah, we'll actually be able to have Seraph and Heat attack with Mind Charge attacks in the same turn. This is already demonstrating quite well how absurdly powerful the turn ring is. Yeah, we're, oh, that's weird. Huh. I guess his resistance didn't change there. Maybe I was misled about something about this fight. Alright, we just got hit with a debuff there, so let's see here. I better, what am I gonna do here? I'm gonna Mind Charge here. I'm gonna pass. Let's, Salvation just to top ourselves off. Let's see what Niflheim does for us here. It's very strange, because that didn't happen the last turn. Perhaps I was misled. Oh, here comes Chaturbaha. However you say that. Now, if you hit him with that skill is an almighty physical type skill, so it bypasses any resistance you have, and it can crit. If you hit him with an almighty skill, he will respond with that skill twice, and if it crits, you are straight up dead. It is absolutely ridiculous. It hits 3 to 4 times against your entire party. It is just absolutely absurd. I guess I was just doing too well, and it tricked him into, or it ticked him into a new resistance set. I will tell you that it was a bit hard to study for these fights because a lot of the guides available for them on GameFAQs are ridiculously out of date. Many of them are incomplete. So if the bonus boss guide that I read for this was actually completely wrong about certain aspects of this fight, I would not be surprised. It was at least mostly correct about the Satan fight, so that helped me get through it. Alright, we're gonna pass, hit him with the Mind Charge and Niflheim. But yeah, otherwise this fight's pretty straightforward. Just remember, don't hit him with any almighty attacks. It is not going to end well for you. You just keep Dekundaing, buddy. Waste your attacks. Here comes Chaturbuha. I wish I could say that better. Let's see, we will debilitate here. Let's just get some mind charges going, and then we will throw up Salvation. Might have to use a Soma if this fight goes on for a while longer, but not too concerned about that. Also, Chaturbuha does not miss. Chaturbuha? It's such a long name, and I keep forgetting it. Ooh, hey, here comes some rage. Now, this is scary. Now, I do actually have no physical, but I kind of considered that it would just make the fight a little dull and uninteresting. I wanted to keep this relatively fair, not have any abilities that could allow me to just luck out of, having to deal with the boss's turns. Okay, so this should put him pretty close to the edge. Let's set up another charge here. It's a good idea to keep track of your buffs and debuffs here. We are +2 for everything, he's -1 for everything, or more or less. Okay, here we go. Let's do a double pass on Cielo, get 2 Mind Charge attacks going, and just dump those out. And all goes according to plan, we should win this turn. And I believe we're in the safe zone if he uses Chaturbuha. Chaturbuha? Yeah, well, whatever, we won. And we got Pandemonium. Alright, we're just gonna dump all this into Seraph's Agility. And upon defeating Vishnu, some solar data dispersed. That gives us a new mantra, and Nandaka has inherited Vishnu's power. First off, let's take a look at that Pandemonium we got, because that is actually something I did not realize what it was the first time I played this game. A even more powerful type of bullet. 300 power. Very nice. That said, I'm going to equip it, but I'm not actually sure if I'm going to use it. For reasons that we're going to get into in the near future. There is actually a purpose to using it. Now, the ring we get is the Aura Ring. This is an upgraded version of the Amala Ring, giving +20 to all your stats. It's actually not as useful as it sounds, because we are actually quite close to the caps, and we could very easily just grind up and get to a point where we'd be missing out on some of the stats from it. Also, we're at the end of the game, where there is only 2 things to use it on. The one thing to use it on, you definitely want to be capped in most stats anyway, so it wouldn't benefit you at all. The other one, we just want other rings going. Now, both Pinaka and Nandaki have been powered up to the fullest. What does that mean? Well, at this point, we can, we've confirmed the data of Vishnu. Let's take a look at his mantra. That appears, I believe, yeah, it's in the bottom right. So, what we want to do is head over to Argilla, who conveniently learned that mantra and got us +1 to all our skills, and just take a look at that. As you can see, it teaches us Chaturbuha, whatever, and Celestial Ray. Neither skills I care about, and again, it's really expensive. Now, to get to the 5th, or next to last, not 5th, 3rd bonus boss of the Sun, and the next to last bonus boss. Actually, no, let's not save here. We can go a little bit. We want to teleport back to the beginning of the 6th layer, and then take the elevator back down to the 5th layer. You may remember when we were in the 5th layer, there was a locked door that we could not get through. So, heading back this way. And also, we are finally at the level where the Astoma sprays will more or less shut off encounters in the Sun. The things that we can run into are Kingus, Arahabakis, and I think maybe Samaels. After, was like 200, no, probably like between my previous playthroughs from long ago, probably like 400 hours of playing these two games, I finally determined that encounters shut off from Astoma sprays when your highest leveled character is 20 levels higher than the enemies in the area. Took me a while to realize that because it's such an absurdly high number I didn't even consider it. But now that we have the power in the Pinaka and the Nandaka, I'm sorry, I was calling it the Nandaki, sorry. That is what opens up this door. They are glorified keys. Now, beyond here, we have another cursed glyph. This is by far the least interesting one, and probably the least problematic, too. Now, this is a lot like the cursed hallway from the Labyrinth of Amala. As Schrodinger explains, each step we take will hit us with incredible damage. Now, we should mostly avoid encounters here, but I do know our Habakis are in here, so what we're going to do to just afford ourselves some safety is, it doesn't matter who it goes on, we're just going to equip the Berserker Ring, and any encounter that we get into, that will allow us to run away. And actually, we want to turn this way. But yeah, we take damage every step we take, or every float, or every inch that Seraph floats. Trying to find the best way to word that. Not quite stepping. But yeah, this one is actually very short. It's just this room that we have to deal with this. As you can see, the end of the curse is right over there. And yeah, you can run into Arahabakis in here if you're unlucky, but it looks like we're doing pretty okay so far. Even if I do run into one, and it looks like we did. The Berserk Ring, oh, Kingu, he's also here. But as you can see, the Berserk Ring covers for us. There is Heat's Berserk mode. I don't really care to show it off. We are in a hurry. Now, heading over this way, we just need to get past that glyph again, and head on through the door, and that'll take us to our next bonus boss. Let's recover real quick. I also want the Synchro Ring back on Cielo so I don't forget it. Towards the bottom, there we go. Through here. And heading up this way. Now, once we go through this door, the scenery will change up a little bit. As you can see, we got one of those long hallways out in a big open area, and beyond this flower is our next boss. Let's just take a real quick moment. I'm actually going to change up Heat's setup here. What we want on him is Divine Light and Ragnarok, and then we want to set Power Charge also. Don't need Mind Charge on him anymore. Let's see, I do want to keep Debilitate. Where is Power Charge? It's towards the bottom. We will put that over Force Boost, and I can get rid of Force Amp since we don't need that anymore. What do I want to put over that, though? Decisions. Doesn't really matter too much, I suppose. You know what? Resolution, just for fun. I haven't really used it before. And conveniently, we've got a save point here. Now, null critical, it was helpful in the Vishnu fight, but this is the fight specifically where I really wanted it for, because this guy coming up has some very nasty attacks. Now, I'm doing something a bit unusual. Many people taking on this fight would equip Seraph with Pandemonium bullets and have them enter in the human form. I'm actually going to pass on that, because I don't think it's completely necessary, and I kind of like having the option of having more skills at our disposal, particularly having the ability to have Seraph heal us. Now, beyond this doorway, Seth. What is he talking about? Sounds familiar to me, though. Well, that's something we have to contemplate later. Now, this guy is in quite a league of his own. He hits a lot harder than either Shiva and Vishnu did, a lot harder than Shiva did, really. And he has some pretty nasty, unique skills, so we want to be careful here. Starting off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Seraph do a Mind Charge, and I'm going to have Heat throw out a Debilitate. At any given time, we want Debilitate on Seth, and we want at least one charge in effect. Seth has access to both Dekuja and Dekunda. It's actually pretty helpful to us if he uses them, because that wastes his turns. Now, let's see, weird. Let's see what he does here. Pain. It's good that he leads with one of his most dangerous attacks to start. This is an almighty physical attack that can crit. As you can see, it hits insanely hard, and when it crits, it can potentially one-shot characters outright. It is really nasty. Null critical helps so much with preventing it from just one-shotting characters. Now, as far as I know, any type of magic is fine on him except Earth, so we can just stick with Niflheim. I'm gonna have throw up power charges when he doesn't need to debilitate. And let's throw up a mind charge again. Now Seth actually has a weakness. He is weak to bullets. So those Pandemonium bullets that we got, very nice, so the Skull Ring is paying off. Those Pandemonium bullets that we got can do some pretty good damage to him. However, when I did this, admittedly I was using, what was it? I was using Magatama bullets by mistake because I didn't realize the Pandemonium were bullets. So that kind of hindered my damage. However, I wasn't too satisfied with how it really affected the fight. And also, not having Seraph to be able to use skills really put me in a dire situation when he started using his nastier stuff. Alright, let's use Divine Light here. Yeah, it looks like he resists physical, so I'm actually going to stick to Ragnarok. I just wanted to actually confirm that. Alright, here comes the first instance of Deikaja. Mabufudyne, I'm not too worried about. Whenever he Deikajas us, obviously we want to set up our charges again. And if necessary, Seraph can contribute with healing, which is why I like running without the human form. Though, another reason I dislike the human form is because bullets are not terribly accurate, and Seth actually has pretty good odds of dodging shots, even with a debilitate or a charge in effect, although you usually hit with both, so I don't like running that risk in the situations where I can't have both of those in effect. So, yeah, I just mostly like passing on it. Also, as far as I've ever seen, Pain does not miss, so don't bank on that. Alright, good stuff there. So, now, Seth does not do anything nasty if you nail him with Almighty skills, so we're fine to use Ragnarok on him. But yeah, we'll stick with Niflheim, and throw out Ragnarok. If Ragnarok crits, that would be really nice. And, at this point, later in the fight, I want to make sure we absolutely don't end with anybody with less than full HP. But at this point in the fight, it's not a huge deal. Alright. Here comes the Deikshas and the Deikundas, so we're actually going to want to have Cielo focus on charging. Now, Spiteful Force. That's a pretty unique and dangerous attack he has at his disposal. See, I'm not going to have a Seraph attack here. Or maybe I should have healed. Well, whatever. I want to get these in effect first and foremost. Let's do Salvation. And we'll hit him with Niflheim. Won't do as much damage as it could, but that's just something you gotta deal with. It is actually desirable if he uses Deikja and Deikunda, because obviously those are less turns spent on him killing you. Now, Spiteful Force is his special attack, and it has a pretty unique effect. What it does is, with the lower Seth's HP gets, the more damage it does. And towards the point where he's dying, it can deal upwards of 700 damage. So that is why... Oh, I don't have a Mind Charge in effect. Whoops. That is why it's pretty critical that you have both Life Surge, and later in the fight, you make sure you're topped off. I guess for the sake of everyone else. Now here's his most annoying skill, Desert Wind. Blows your character right out of the party, and it's especially annoying that he sent Seraph out of the party, because when a character with Turn Ring gets knocked out of the party, that actually robs you of the effect of the Turn Ring. Very annoying. So what we're going to do here, we're going to pass here because we got Deikajad. We're going to deploy Seraph. Actually, I'm not going to be able to do what I want regardless because I need to heal Seraph. Yeah, whatever. We're just going to have to grin and bear it and deal with a turn without charge. But Desert Wind brings you down to 150 HP every time and takes your character out of the battle. And if that character had the... oh, that's unfortunate. If that character had the Turn Ring, you lose your press turn. But yeah, as you can see, this guy is insanely nasty if you give him a chance to go. Okay, let's Mind Charge. Fortunately, now we can get back on top of things. And we can nail him with a Ragnarok. Let's get these charges back in effect. Heat should be fine. But yeah, a lot of this fight, how it can go, depends pretty heavily on how often... Oh, Pain can miss. That's actually pretty nice to know. A lot of it can depend on how often he decides to use Desert Wind on you, and it's especially annoying if he uses it on your Turn Ring character. Not too much you can do about that if it happens, unfortunately, so... Again, another thing we have to grin and bear. Probably going to have to use a Soma at some point. Luckily, we have a very good supply of those at this stage of the game. Ugh, yeah. And that was with 2 charges and a Debilitate to help us out. Not an attack to be taken lightly. Alright, I forget. Do we have Mind Charge up? Always double check to make sure you have your charges in effect, and we didn't, so it's a good thing I checked. Let's see. We'll hit him with Ragnarok. And this is a good time to use a Soma, actually. Cielo's MP is getting pretty low. Soma's more preferable here since, what was it? Heat is at low HP anyway. Okay, as far as I can tell, Spiteful Force definitely doesn't miss. Alright, we're going to want to heal up here. We will hit him with Niflheim and have Heat throughout the Debilitate to get that back in. But yeah, overall, we're doing pretty good here so far. And we'll just pass to Seraph and Mind Charge. There we go. Go into the fight in a good in the next turn in a good situation. Oop, Desert Wind. Okay, that's actually pretty manageable. I don't mind too much if Cielo gets taken out. Power Charge could be problematic, though. Let's throw up Niflheim. We'll have Heat deploy Cielo. And we'll definitely want to throw out Salvation. Now he's power charged here, so his next attack could be pretty nasty. Let's see what comes our way. Pain. Yeah, if that crit, that would have been a dead Heat right there. One thing to note about the turn ring, if your turn ring character gets blasted out of battle, you do lose the effect. If they die, though, you don't. So that's pretty handy. Alright, let's see. Since Heat got blasted out of there, he's losing his charge. Let's hit Seth with another Debilitate, just to get him down low again. But we're doing pretty good here. It's like Pain's also doing more damage as the fight goes on. Hard to tell, though. Alright, now we should be good to hit him. Yeah, I got that in effect. Always double check if you're not sure. And it's not really come up, but Power Charge and both Mind Charge, they actually stock until you use them in this game. In some games you have to use them immediately, but in this game they just stock until you're ready to use them. Very nice like that. Alright, is he going to use Deikaja also? Oh no. My Revert, I can live with that. Although it is pretty annoying when that happens. Alright, well here's a good chance to show off his weakness, if nothing else. Let's transform here. Seraph, blast him with the Pandemonium Bullets, show us how much that can do. Yeah, as you can see, 369, not that great. Not something I feel that is really worth going for. Now, if you come in with a min critical or max critical and the critical skill, you can bring your critical hit rate up, double that damage, and if you get 4 crits in a row, that's pretty good, but I'm just not a fan of it. Yeah, getting bad luck with that. As you can see, Spiteful Force is starting to deal some pretty nasty damage there. And of course, my characters are muted, and the one character who can purge it, he cannot act. Alright, so let's see here. May as well just dump out Ragnaroks. So we got a Salvation anyway. And hey, there was a situation I found to use Ragnarok on Seraph. Looks like he did not like having his defense debuff max out. Yeah, honestly, I don't have much more to say about the fight. It's pretty repetitive at this stage. Okay, let's see. Definitely going to want to get back to Mind Charging, and probably throw out 2 Debilitates on him. We're still doing good on our charges here. So, yeah, 2 Debilitates, that's the way to go. And we should be getting close to the finish line for this fight. We've done some pretty significant damage to him. Desert Wind. Okay, Heat, I can live with that. Yeah, I wish I could get more dodges, though. Alright, let's deploy Heat. We'll definitely want to Salvation afterwards. Deploy menu. Get him back in there. Still, we can hit him with the Mind Charge Niflheim here. And we are good. Health has not gone red yet. I have determined that an enemy's health goes red when they have roughly less than 30% of their HP left. Spiteful Force is getting a little scary at this point. He doesn't seem to ever use it more than once per turn, though. I'm actually going to throw up another charge here, just because Heat's doing not so great on his stats. That power charge in. Surprised this fight's taking as long as it is. I thought I had a pretty good strategy here. Of course, there are those things. Ow, here comes the Deku. Should have seen that coming. Still, he's got 2 debilitates in effect, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, scratch that. Let's see. I'm actually gonna have Seraph hang on to the Mind Charge there. Want to throw out some debilitates. We'll throw out 2 charges. We should be pretty good on HP here, so I'm not too worried about healing. These charges and that debilitate will bring down damage a lot, or just increase the chance that he'll try to purge the debuffs and give us more turns to survive anyway. Man, this guy's got a ton of HP. Oh, who's going out? Heats. Okay. And that's about the worst way that turn could have gone. Oh, well. Let's just get him out there. We'll throw out Media Rahan, have Heat Pass, throw out another charge, and hopefully this guy gives me the opportunity to actually do stuff. Yeah, sometimes he can catch you in loops like this, where he's just blasting characters out. Sometimes you get really lucky and he'll almost never use Desert Wind, though. Not one of those attempts, though. I was actually very fortunate that he did not crit there. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright. Now, I should have used a Soma, actually. Well, we can do that next turn. Let's debilitate him here. Since Heat lost his power charge due to getting blasted out, we'll just focus on getting Seraph the attack in. Okay, now we're getting close. And now he counters with debilitates of his own. Bit nasty, but we have, oof, that could be rough. Still, I don't mind Vanity too much. Okay. Unfortunately, what we're gonna have to do here. What I'll do is Mind Charge here. We'll have Heat use the Soma, and then we'll use Salvation to purge the poison. Alright, easy peasy. But that red HP means we're pretty close to winning here. It also means Spiteful Force is going to be dealing a ton of damage at this point. Hopefully he just doesn't dump it on us 3 times. Oof, debilitate's coming in like crazy. Okay, let's charge up here. I'll definitely want Salvation instead of doing another charge. Niflheim. And let's get a power charge up also. Fortunately, now that he's mixing Vanity in, he should hopefully be using... what is it? Desert Wind less often. Yeah, like so. Yeah, I can deal with Ragnarok. Let's throw up a charge. I'll have to Mind Charge up again and throw out the Ragnarok with Heat. And we'll definitely want to Salvation at the end of this turn. Alright, we've got this, we're good. We should be fine. I'm confident. I'm not scared by your Dekundas. Alright, we're a little over on charges, so I'm actually going to focus Debilitate instead. Actually, I will have to hit a charge in on this turn. Alright, what we'll do here, throw out the Niflheim. We're actually going to have Heat Pass, and then have Cielo throw up charge. And this is why I want Seraph in human form. If Seraph wasn't, I'd have to bank on having some medical gears here, which I actually do have a few of. You go and take a shot, buddy. That is a waste of your turn as far as I'm concerned. Oof, that's pretty nasty, though. Okay, what we're going to need to do here is charge. Oof. Alright, at this point, Heat's just going to have to sit in reserve. He'll be there to debilitate if we need it. Now, we're just going to focus on dumping out the Niflheims. Sorry if the commentary for this video is not terribly interesting. I realize this fight's kind of dragging at this point, but that's how you expect bonus bosses to be. Fortunately, the next guy, well, that is also a long fight. I'll have a lot more to say about it, because it actually changes up a lot more as the battle progresses. Also, this probably goes without saying, but Cielo having Null Ailment here is so helpful. Whoever your point character is, even if it's not Cielo, you definitely want them to have that. Getting your lead character charmed or panicked or whatever, that pretty much spells defeat right away. Getting there, getting there. Ooh, that could be a problem. Okay, oof, that always makes me nervous. Yeah, oof. Ugh. As you can see, it is very annoying that null critical doesn't actually do what the name on the tin implies. And sometimes really scary things like that can happen. There we go. Oof. Long fight, but we got him. Get a great chakra and a bunch of money for our efforts, and hey, some experience. And more agility for Seraph. Can never have enough of that. Now, for defeating Seth. Some solar data dispersed. We get the Avoid Ring. Don't have to get it from a node this time. Void Ring, very cool ring, actually. Where is it? This is in my ring menu, of course. Avoid Ring allows us to end a enemy's turn immediately if we either block or they miss. So, say Seth missed an attack, he'd lose all 3 of his turns if the character had the Avoid Ring. This is critical for the next boss fight. Also, you may notice, we've got every single ring in the game. There is actually a reward we can get for that, and we'll do that soon enough. But, as you can see, we can actually go a little further here. You can take these forward plates, go into this room here. Now, beyond this hallway, we got another thing to take us forward. Man, all this buildup, what could be awaiting us? Well, what's waiting us beyond here is probably my least favorite boss that I've ever fought in the SMT series, which is a pretty impressive accolade. As you can see, we've got one more save point, and beyond this doorway awaits us Satan. And he is a jerk. He is an extreme jerk. We are not going to fight him right now, because we have other things to do, and I've got a video recorded expressly for that purpose, but just to put it, not too fine a point on it, it is easily the most luck-based fight in these 2 games, even more so than the Demi-Fiend, although your mileage may vary on which fight is harder. Me personally, I found Satan to be a lot more annoying. Even Demi-Fiend was a lot easier to have spin out on you, but like I said, your mileage may vary. Now for Root of Evil, we get access to Spiteful Force and Death Flies. If you're doing a New Game Plus and you are continuing into normal mode, definitely want to learn this one so you can just trivialize all encounters with Death Flies. Now, like I said, we're not going to be fighting Satan in this video. We're just going to head back to the surface of the sun right now, because we have got one more side quest to turn in. Heading back to the surface, you may remember at the start of the second layer, we encountered the creator of Karma Rings, and he said he was lamenting that he couldn't complete his ultimate creation before his death. Well, what if we show him all the rings in the game? Maybe he'll feel inspired. What? These are ancient? Some of these are great. And for this, you get the Master Ring. This is purportedly the ultimate ring in the game, though the only fight you'd want to use it in, it does nothing, like you'd expect. But it nullifies all attacks except Almighty, so put this on a character, in most situations they're effectively invincible. There are obviously some enemies out there that can use Almighty attacks to get around that, but at this stage of the game they are not that threatening, so definitely can't hurt to put it on someone while you're doing your level grinding to 99, and if you plan on taking on the final bonus boss, you will be level grinding to 99. But I have already taken care of that. I have spared you the pleasure of watching me level grind for hours on end, so when we come back in the next video, it will be our ultimate challenge for Digital Devil Saga 2, in a personal file that I, of course, played separately from the Let's Play, so get excited, because I hate that fight, which you will see why. You'll see why. Until then, goodbye.